Hello there. Well, this week was different. This week my body decided to bleed in the ocean. The wind has arrived to Fuerteventura. My surfing has changed, and so does my surfboard. Nevertheless, this is my week 4 vlog of my 12-week surf and surfskate course, trying to find the love for surfing again. Small recap of this week. Sunday, I went to surf Lobos with the girls, with the Goofy Queens. Monday, I started surfing my own custom-made 5'8" glassed-in fins fish. Amazing session. Tuesday, the wind has arrived, and so does my cramps before my period, so I didn't go to surfskate. Wednesday I had a surf lesson in the morning, and in the water I got my period. So with the wind together, that was a bit annoying. Thursday, full-on rest, I believe. No, not true. Thursday I went to surfskate. It was a great session. It was very quiet. Friday I went to socialize. We went to the Lahara's ball once again, and I learned a new trick. Saturday, rest day, full on rest day, super hangover as well. And Sunday I had another surf lesson, 7:30, with my new board, with the wind, new spots. So yeah, this week was a lot, and I had to adjust instead of pushing through. Yet I think I managed, and I closed a good week for myself and in my surf progress. So, surfing Lobos. What do you need to know? Lobos is a small island just between Fuerteventura and Lanzarote, and it is known for a really good long right-hander wave, which is for me as a goofy surfer a backside wave. It is also known that you need to take off right front of the rocks. The rocks are very sharp, little places pointing out from the ocean. There is corals, there is volcanic lava left, so bit of an intimidating spot to take off, especially if the swell is on. So Sunday, I felt brave enough when my Goofy Queen Bonjour called me to ask if I would like to surf Lobos, and I was like, hiya. It's been months here for me in Fuerteventura. I knew about this spot and wave from the beginning, and I thought I shouldn't go because I can be a little bit reckless and do things that I should have not been doing. So I thought, like, maybe once I feel a little bit more confident with my surfing and my surfing is a little bit better, or improving, then it's the time to go to Lobos. And that time has arrived last Sunday. Yeah, why not? Did my morning routine, did some stretching, did some extra warm-up, because once you are there is no land. You actually travel with a boat, and the boat drops you out at the spot. Then you surf, and then you wait till the boat picks you up and then drives you back to the land. And so did we do. Me, Bonjour, and another girl whose name I forgot, all goofy ladies, took the boat, been dropped off at Lobos. There were only like five locals in the water. It is known for being insanely a local spot, so if it's really, really good, There is chances that there is like 40, 50, 60 people like divided on the 3 different peaks at the wave, and you might not gonna catch any because there is only 3-4 waves in a set and 2-3 sets in every 10 minutes or so, or 5-10 minutes. So if you do the math, it's a difficult place to catch a wave, plus it's gonna be more even difficult if the locals are out. And but that was not the case. We had only 5 people in the water plus 3 girls, and the swell was slowly arriving. Probably there were more out in the early morning, thinking that it will be a busy day, but since the entire north shore of Fuerteventura was pumping, no wind, good swell, therefore I think a lot of people decided to actually just stay in Fuerteventura, surf the north shore. And those who were like, okay, let's risk it for the biscuits, went to Lobos, and we, the ladies, went for the cookies. So Lobos was a treat. It felt really nice because it was finally really decent waves. I think I had one really nice wave, like really nice. I felt very good, confident. It was actually like a decent size. I think we were in the water like an hour and a half, and then we took the boat back. Highlight, we saw a shark, which was super cool. Boat ride was fun, girlies were fun, Lobos was fun. So I came out with a huge smile on my face and then feeling like, why did I avoid this wave for so long? But in height science, everything happens for a reason, exactly when it needs to happen. I am grateful that my first Lobos experience was actually one of a kind. No wind, good swell, very few people, felt good. So the Lobos takeaway: sometimes the thing you fear is smaller than the story you tell yourself about it. But hey, we live and learn. Then what next? The Rockfish. I have created the artwork first time ever on a surfboard. I call it the Rockfish because I have collected 4 different types of soil, which I then ground into powder, and I used it as pigments on the surface of the board. Last Monday, with the leftover of the swell and no wind, I took it out the first time ever for about 3 hours. It was a bit tricky with the low tide and the rocks and the shallow reef, but since it's smaller, it's a 5'8" compared to the 6 and 6'2" that I have been riding in the past weeks. My back foot was constantly slipping at my pop-up. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the first 5 or 6 waves, standing up, falling. And for a second I thought, I was like, oh shit, maybe it's not a good board for me or something. But then I was like, there's no way. I mean, I put so much love and creation into this board. I just need to learn to ride it. Of course, what did I do? Went back to the basics. I was like, okay, slow down on the board. You need to have actually very slow movements on a fish because the board itself is super fast. It has less rocker. So you just have to slow down. Plus, I needed to really do my pop-up like step by step. Back foot, front foot, stand up position, slowly turn. And then once I managed to like get that right, the board was like chef kiss. Like, I was so happy. The board is super nice, super fun, easy to pedal with. I think the right size for me, right volume for me, and it's just fun. It is a fun board. Like, I wanted to have a fun board, and I'm super glad that I actually got it. And I still have 8 weeks 8 weeks to enjoy it here in Fuerteventura. And after, I have some other plans, but I will tell you, I will share that later. Yeah, cool stuff. The Rockfish. One thing for sure, the new board has changed the conversation between me and the ocean. My relationship with the ocean is changing because of this board, but I am pleased with these changes. And then with that, Tuesday, my stomach started cramping, and I think last week I already mentioned that I'm curious how will I be able to keep up with the training once I got my period. My body usually needs slowing down in those days, and sometimes I have cramping if I'm not watching out with my diet and I don't eat a lot of iron. You get it, a lot of spinach and pumpkin and seeds and whatnot. I start cramping more, and my mood, my everything, I get more quiet. I want to rest more. I just want to, like curl up, cozy up and do nothing. So waking up early those days to surf or go in the evenings to surf skate and push my body is not something that I would have imagined that I can really do. I guess the core takeaway is that showing up can also mean listening to your body and do what it requires and needs you to do. Hence, the next 2 days was mainly chilling, from what I remember, like resting, stretching. I did a lot of stretches, and I also noticed that when I'm cramping, it's really good to stretch the hip and the lower back area. Every time when I did some stretching, thinking that it's good for my surf and surf skate muscle pain, it was easing the tension in my lower abdomen and lower back. During the surf skate last time with surf skate Fuerteventura, I was just like more going inwards. I was a bit more quiet and I wasn't doing so many rounds, but when I was doing any, I was giving it my go, and I was focusing on the core elements, which is like head, like side, head, shoulder, hip placements. So I was doing my surf skate training much more focused, like concentrated on what it needs, like for me to practice, to be able to take it into the water. And while I was still on my period Friday, I had a great idea to go to the La Harras ball jam. And this time I had even more beers. I think I had like 3 beers. And way too much courage. Plus, again, the surf skate Fuerteventura dream team, Goofy Queens, were again present. So I took both my skateboard and surf skate, did some laps in the bowl, and then with the surf skate we started practicing. I think it's called a layback slide or something like that. I have never imagined or thought I will practice this or do it or be able to do that. But 3 beers, man. 3 beers and my recklessness and encouragement is just like right into my head. Someone started practicing that and I was like, okay, let me try. Like, what is this? What is the fuss about? It's actually helping you to learn how to do a layback and then a power slide kind of thing on the concrete, which you then can actually also do it on in the water. Way more difficult. And you need very good power waves, because once you put down the hand in the power, like it somehow needs to hold you. Like, I mean, not as much as concrete, but when there is a lot of power in a wave, it can feel like concrete. So I have no idea if I will ever be able to do this in the water, but I was able to do it on the concrete. So yeah, that was a really highlight of the week, and it was so nice because the girls and everyone was just like very, very supportive, like, okay, Christina, just try it. And I did it, and then I was like, okay, it's not that complicated, it's more complicated in my head than in reality, so I was just keep practicing. And then once I landed, they were like, oh, cheering. And I'm not really a girly for validation. I normally would be like humble and like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I don't like the attention. But 3 beers and I was like, yes, I did it. And it felt good, you know, it was really nice. Good vibes, 3 beers. I don't think I need to tell you more about it, but you can imagine, it was cool. And then we went on into the night. So I had more beers and an insane massive hangover the next morning, plus a lot of sore muscle from this low positions power slam. So yeah, next day was heavy. So not enough rest, a lot of more physical exercises, and I again didn't have much sleep Saturday night, when I had to wake up 6 a.m. to go on Sunday morning for my surf lesson, my last surf lesson of the week. That was not easy. No, it was not easy to wake up. I was not rested. I was not well fed. Like, you know, there was just nothing like I should. And I was still like the post recovery phase of my period, which I still had it at the time. So I was like, oh. But I showed up and I did my best. It was small waves. We went for a new spot. I was on my new board. I was alone in the water. My coach was watching from the beach. I was just surviving. Week 4 was different, and sometimes slowing down can teach you as much as pushing through. I think that's kind of my takeaway. The 3 things week 4 taught me is progress needs rest too. New equipment asks for patience. Confidence grows when you go do things with people who makes scary feel doable. Your body needs to be part of the plan and not to be an obstacle. So always plan with your body, listen to your body, and adjust, plan accordingly. It does make a huge difference to achieve your goals or your desires. Lobos was so less scary than how scary it was in my head, which gives me a lot of motivation and inspiration, feeling like, okay, this surf course and this journey is hitting the right part of my brain. Fuerteventura and my Rockfish is teaching me a lot and is going to keep teaching me a lot. So yeah, cool stuff. Excited about week 5. I hope you had an amazing week yourself too. I really do thank you and appreciate you. My little soul tribe is growing. While I barely have, I don't have that many views and likes and whatnot. That's how I can actually grow. So if you have made it this far, I would really appreciate you liking this video and subscribe, because at this point 90% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, and that's the only way I can actually grow into try to do this more often, and also with other topics in the future or other locations. Leave me a comment as well if you have any feedback, what I can change, how I can change, or in what way can I make this more interesting for you. At this point, I am documenting this entire process mainly for myself. If in the future ever again I lose the feeling of loving surfing, I will have an entire series and binge watch for myself to try to find back the feeling. I would like to keep practicing surfing, surf skating and skating for the rest of my life. So yeah, this will help me to have, how you call it, an anchor if I will ever need it again. So yeah, if you want, you can watch some previous episodes. I think it's here or here somewhere. And thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. I hope to see you next week, and I wish you an amazing week. Ciao.